There are many countries that are American allies. They want to stay close to America for reasons of security
Yeah.
or economics, but they also criticize Israel a lot. USA's maybe closest allies, one of your
Yeah.
closest allies. What are your thoughts on that?
We push back pretty hard to other allies, and we say to them, as a good example, when recently France decided they were going to host this little stunt at the United Nations and uh, push for unilateral recognition of a Palestinian state, which, by the way, violates the Oslo Accords. It violates any common sense, goes against international law to unilaterally declare a piece of land that belongs to someone and declare it belongs to someone else without involving any discussion with the current landowner. All of that was ridiculous. And so we pushed back hard. We admonished our French partners, all of our other European partners, and we imposed some pretty heavy visa restrictions on people from the Palestinian Authority from even going to New York to be a part of it. We thought it was a farce. We still think it is. And, we weren't mild about it. We were pretty expressive. I think it was offensive to us as America that people that should know better were out pushing it. What we also was trying to tell them was that with a war going on and hostages being held, the timing of this was ridiculously bad, and it had very detrimental, direct impact on hostage negotiations, killed it. Relationships between Palestinians and Israel hurt it dramatically. And it also gave a lot of fuel to the notion of Israel declaring sovereignty over larger parts of Judea and Samaria, which is not what the European countries were hoping and pushing for. So everything they hoped would happen didn't, and everything they hoped wouldn't happen was starting to happen. It was an utter disaster what they did.
Do you think it has prolonged the war, cost human life?
Yeah, without a doubt. And that's not just my opinion, but that's something the Secretary and the President have also said, because quite frankly, the U.S. is in the middle of these hostage negotiations, in the middle of trying to bring some resolve to this. So we clearly see what happens when they go out and make these declarations. The immediate impact of it was incredibly detrimental.
The king was denied the opportunity to offer his condolences to the state of Israel after the attack because of the political nature of the situation. It took our prime minister 4 days to recognize that Hamas was a terrorist organization after the attack. And Norway was one of the first countries to recognize a Palestinian state in the wake of the October 7th attacks. What are your thoughts on Norway?
It's disappointing. Norway, I think, should know better. And it's a beautiful country and great people. But I wish more of their leaders would actually come here, meet with not just government officials, just come and see for themselves. Open eyes, open ears. There's so much more that Norway has in common with Israel than they do with totalitarian nations that are Islamic in nature, that do not allow free speech, that do not allow for free elections. They do not provide basic human rights for women or even for people who are other minorities, whether those are minorities of sexual choice or whether it's a minority of religion. And it's hard for me to understand, why would Norway, a country that prides itself on its freedom and on its, maybe even on its sense of liberalism, if you would, why would they side with a worldview that denies everything that they supposedly stand for and goes against a country that really does reflect the values that Norway has? I don't understand that, and I can't explain it. I have to have someone from Norway explain it to me. I can't explain it to you.
Well, I can't explain it either, so